It's often described, Hort, as being a creative playground. And like a great creative playground, and like a playground, I suppose, you should have a lot of play and a lot of fun. So I'd like to introduce the fearless and fun Eike König.
I'm not so fearless, you know. It's full already. It's a big honor for me to be here tonight. So how did everything started? I started my career as an art director of Logic Records. It was run by the guys named Snap. And I worked there for 2 years, and then I started my own studio in 1994. Hort is an old German word for, not for kindergarten, but for an after-school club. And having this idea in my mind that after university I still needed a safe space where I can play, learn, experience, fail, have fun, but at the same time having the freedom to decide the way I work and with whom I work. When I started my business in 1994, I had this idea of, okay, I need to have a manifest. Some notes, you know, I wrote down. Kind of naive, you know, but I'm naive. So the company itself is shaped by the people who you are working with. They create the culture. So for me, the best way is not to have a constructed fixed space where everyone has to fit in, but instead to create a flexible system where the person itself is the middle of interest, and everything else can be designed and changed around the person's need. So most companies are built like a pyramid. There's one on top, and the rest has to follow. And I believe that's the biggest loss of knowledge you can create. So our hierarchy is completely flat. More like the reservoir dogs, you know, like, yeah. So everyone has a voice, everyone is a professional, everyone critically contributes to creative discourse. So following a shared aim to develop a strong, functional, and exciting solution for our clients. Yeah, that's who we are, the reservoir dogs. Okay, I could talk about that, you know, because it's an actual thing we were working on, but, you know, or should I, you know, like, make myself bigger as I am because I'm working together with a sexy brand like Nike, and they ask us to do things like this, you know. Like the right one was designed in the program Word. Since 2005, we're working together. We have a very strong relationship to them. We don't work with an agency. We work directly with Nike in Portland, especially Michael Spogliarek. He's creative director of basketball. And this is something we did for LeBron James for the sixth shoe. And we did 666 artworks for the sixth shoe. How crazy are we? Or like what we are doing, what never really turned up to be produced was this, like kind of a research. They always ask us to show them extremes, like, okay, here's a brief, and please show us something what we would never take, and something what we would take. So this is something they would never take, and this is something what they took. Lovely, huh? It's funny because, you know, if you sign a contract with Nike, it's always about these legal things, and you're like not allowed to show something that is not produced. And we were like, oh my God, we have been working so many years on that client, and we produced so many stuff that was never published or will never be shown. And we thought, okay, what is the claim? What is the just do it thing? And we're like, okay, why not just do it, you know? And let's see what's happening, you know? Like that's the genetics of the DNA of Nike. Come on, they can't say against it. So I hate pitches, you know? I think it's the wrongest idea to start a business relationship with someone, you know? Like, people asking you for nearly no money to develop an idea that can work later on a bigger scale. That means they spend no money, and they don't give you really much time, for the most important part of the project, you know? And then on the other hand, when you win that project, you get a lot of money for making a book. I mean, this is just work, you know, like the stuff you develop before, the concept, you know, the rules you set before, this is the most important part, you know, like you should invest the most time, the most money in this moment, you know. They just do the opposite. But sometimes, especially in the cultural field, they have to do it. So you can accept it or not. What I said in the beginning was most important for me to tell this to you. So the work I'm doing is not so interesting because it's a contemporary moment, and I'm not really looking into designing something that is forever, like an icon of our time or something. I really like to be connected to the contemporary time when I created that. I think more important, and that probably is also the legacy of myself, is like the way I work together with people. You know, that really is something where I'm proud of. So I think I'm going to end my lecture like this, you know, like I'm just giving you some, you know, be brave, you know, like stay curious, you know, and do something good while being on this planet. Thanks very much.